News to the News with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And after some refreshing rain yesterday, could we see 2 in a row?
Well, today a little bit less rainy, more on the cloudy side. Rain can't be ruled out, though. We have a better shot for rain tomorrow.
Okay.
But today, though, because of that rain yesterday, we're waking up to some fog. Let's take a look outside right now. First off, in Oneonta, where there you are, we got some fog again. It's been a while since we've seen that here in the Mohawk or here in the Southern Valleys. In the Mohawk Valley, or at least on the edge of it here in downtown Utica, we have some fog out there in the distance, pushing into parts of downtown. You can see some of the buildings here on Genesee Street starting to see that fog roll its way in. So temperatures so far across the area in the 60s, cooler but still mild morning out there. Fog in Syracuse, Hamilton. In fact, when it comes to visibility, you can see here some locations seeing 0 mile visibility down in Hamilton, 1 mile in Syracuse. Unfortunately, there's not really a lot of monitors for fog in this area, but there is fog developing in parts of the Mohawk Valley. So the next 12 hours today, after a foggy start, we're going to see mostly cloudy, overcast, damp skies with maybe a passing light shower. Not a whole lot of forcing in the atmosphere today, but still it's going to be damp out there. But by tonight and especially tomorrow, there's a lot higher of a chance for rain, and some of these showers could produce some good rainfall. We're going to track that, talk about how much and when that rainfall arrives hour by hour in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. New this morning, Jimmy Kimmel nearly...
Welcome back, everybody, to News Channel 2 at sunrise. Time now is 5:12 on this morning hour right now, and as you can see here, we have some fog we're dealing with early today as you head out to work this morning. We take a look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, and aside from the foggy conditions, so far it's mostly dry. Now there is some light drizzle possible throughout the day today, but anything in terms of heavy rain mainly stays outside of central New York. Our traffic tracker this morning shows it green across the board, and again, as you head outside this morning, you might run into some patchy, dense fog. Temperatures in the low 60s. This afternoon, we climb into the 70s, only low 70s though, with maybe a passing shower, otherwise generally overcast skies. Yes, it's a rarity. We haven't really seen too many cloudy skies here in the past couple of weeks, but that's the story today. And now as we head into tomorrow, there's a better shot for more notable rainfall. We're going to time that out coming up in a few short minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Many are hoping for perfect...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Time now is 5:18, and today we are tracking some fog after a rainy and unsettled day yesterday. Let's take a look outside in downtown Utica, where we have some of that fog slowly inching its way into the downtown Utica area near Genesee Street. Temperatures this morning starting out in the low 60s. You got humid conditions out there, and that close dew point is the reason why that fog is starting to form out there. East wind to 3 miles an hour, so wind's not too strong early today. And in fact, the radar, although looking mostly quiet, we have a few showers mainly outside of our area heading toward the capital region, currently in parts of the Catskills south of Schoharie County. And look at the bigger picture here. We have an area of low pressure that's slowly approaching, although right now is not too active. By tonight and especially tomorrow, all that rainfall is going to move its way back in again. This is the time frame of this currently in the overnight hours. We have some more rainfall developing throughout the day before that also exits. Maybe a stray shower Friday from a trailing cold front, but a lot of that moisture would already be exiting. In the meantime, I'm slowly fine-tuning the fall foliage report right now. Personally, I drove my way up north, just north of Utica, north of Marcy. Those hills up there, the leaves have changed quite considerably. There's a lot of color. and some of those hills up there. So I've extended the midpoint to include a lot of the higher elevations north of Utica. I'm thinking of extending this some color area farther to the west. Still, parts of the southern valleys are lagging behind, but either way, it's going to be approaching near peak in a couple of days in parts of the Adirondacks. This is a very early start to the season. So on our Skycast, we have a few areas of light showers today. By the evening, you can see some showers right on our doorstep. Following that, widespread rain develops overnight, at least more on the scattered side. Not everyone is going to see these showers. Then by the afternoon tomorrow, we'll see some rain develop once more, potentially heavy downpour here and there as a cold front passes over the area. And then as we head into Friday, we'll see clouds turn to some sunshine, maybe a passing sprinkle from that trailing cold front, moisture-starved cold front, by the way. So when it comes to potential rainfall today, or I should say for tomorrow, you can see here quite the difference maker here in terms of rainfall. A lot of locations picking up an inch of accumulation, and some spots maybe a little bit more, other spots a little bit less. Either way, it's going to be some beneficial rain heading into tomorrow. Then we dry out a little bit on Friday. So the weekend so far looking pretty pleasant, and a lot of events going on for the first weekend of fall, Gary. And as long as the weather looks pretty quiet, so far looking pretty nice.
Yeah, the Remsen Barn Fest. Boy, they're smiling up there.
A lot of stuff going on in Remsen.
Great weather this weekend. The time right now is 5:20. From some of our camera shots, that fog is pretty thick.
Yeah, that's right, Gary. I mean, we're talking, right behind you right now in Utica, we have some fog out there, and in fact, we can see it behind me as well. We have some of that fog starting to move in to some locations. In fact, compared to earlier this morning, Oneonta has cleared up a little bit in terms of fog, but again, Utica, parts of the Mohawk Valley, starting to see that fog roll in now. We're using traffic cameras as references at this point because we have some high-level clouds rolling in, so typical tools we use like satellite can't really give us a good picture due to that cloud cover blocking it. So we're using traffic cameras, have an idea of where that fog is right now. For the most part, it is reported in Syracuse, Hamilton, personally in parts of the Mohawk Valley over here. Cloudy skies in Rome, temperatures in the low 60s. And again, when it comes to visibility, not every location here reporting that fog, but either way, you can see some areas near 0-mile visibility. So today, expect a foggy start, a cloudy afternoon, and potentially a stray shower or two, especially in the afternoon. We're not done with rainfall today, despite it being a mostly dry day. In fact, our better shot for rain is going to be arriving tomorrow. We're going to track those chances, time it out, how much rain we could see, all that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Almost a week after he was...
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back, everybody, to Sunrise. Today's photo of the day, heading back up into some higher elevations. This is a photo right here taken on White Lake. Look at this shot here. Now, this photo originally was submitted horizontally, and I was debating putting it up there because it almost looks like a Christmas tree with all the vibrant colors. A little disorienting, though, but I wanted to show the foliage initially. This was sent in by Karen, and just look at the vibrant colors and how calm the water is. Look how that reflection almost, again, looks as if there's a tree sideways right there. So, again, amazing photos sent in by Karen of White Lake. And if you have a photo of fall foliage you'd like to share with us, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. I'm guessing that over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have lots of submissions and a lot of fall foliage photos. That's pretty cool that we get to see some of these across the area. And of course, as the days get progressively into eventually October, we're going to see a lot more local, or at least the lower elevation foliage maps starting to pop up here. Still, though, it's a warmer start in the low 60s, upper 50s with some cloudy skies. We're going to track that rainfall not only for today, which isn't a very high chance, but especially for tomorrow. We're going to track that coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Just 24 hours after the start of fall.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Some foggy conditions to start your day today. We begin in a few seconds with a look at downtown Utica, where the fog has started to roll its way in. Some parts of the Mohawk Valley seeing that fog, some areas south as well as north, so it's not extremely isolated. In fact, some of that fog rather on the dense side. But either way, it is a humid start today. Temperature is 60, dew point is 60. That's what's causing that fog this morning. The radar right now is mainly quiet. There's a few showers in the Catskills heading toward the capital region. For now, none of that rain is currently taking place in our local area, but we can't rule it out this afternoon. Well, the reason for it is we've got this broad area of low pressure. It's an unsettled section of the country here. And although there's no direct forcing in the atmosphere today, there will be, especially as we head into tonight. Low pressure and a warm front moves in. That'll drive in some showers, maybe a few thunderstorms, especially tomorrow. But at least initially, there could be scattered showers overnight tonight. And then lingering moisture continues throughout the day on Thursday. An update in our foliage report. I'm going to update this a little bit more throughout the morning because I want to get some more details on some of these locations in the Adirondacks. Driving north yesterday, there was a lot of vibrant colors, especially up near Marcy or in the hills of Marcy. And of course, Adirondacks obviously having the earliest peak season here locally. But I'm going to see if we can start to introduce near peak colors here for portions of the Adirondacks. Maybe not today, but maybe in a couple of days, as this is an early change this season due to, again, how dry it's been and the prime conditions recently, which has been a lot of sunny, warm, dry days and cool, non-freezing overnights. So our skycast showing clouds, maybe a passing sprinkle or shower this afternoon or especially this evening. Overnight, scattered showers turning to a dry-ish morning, followed by some rainfall Thursday afternoon, maybe a few downpours, thunderstorms. It's going to be an unsettled one tomorrow and producing a lot of beneficial rain. Now, hopefully it doesn't all come down at once because we don't want this rain to run off. We want it to soak into the soil. Some spots could pick up an inch, inch and a half. If that downpour fires up and there's 2 inches or more, that might be concerning in terms of runoff. We'll keep a close eye on it. Either way, it does dry up a little bit on following Friday morning and Friday afternoon. Sunshine moves in on Saturday and Sunday just in time for some local events like the Barn Fest, which was on our Morning Mug Club here. And following that, we're going to see warm temperatures continue through the middle of next week. We'll be right back.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And for folks getting ready to head outside, this is what they can expect. A lot of fog around the region.
Yeah, a lot of fog this morning, and overall, not too much in terms of rainfall today, but might not be the story for tomorrow. But let's take a look at what's going on outside early this morning. We're, again, as you can see behind me here in a second, we have some of that fog rolling into parts of Utica. It's not widespread, but it is at least a lot of locations this morning witnessing some of this fog here. It is pushing into parts of the downtown area right there. It's foggy in Hamilton, rain showers in Albany, clouds in Johnstown and in Rome, temperatures in the low 60s. And again, when it comes to visibility, a lot of locations here in New York State at near zero visibility. But again, some of this extends in the Mohawk Valley. We do lack fog sensors in Herkimer County, which is why this is not popping up here. But either way, still this morning, budget a few extra minutes when you encounter some of that fog heading out to work. This afternoon, we warm up into the low 70s, a mix of clouds and a few areas of some rain showers. A better shot for heavier rain will be south, closer to the Catskills. But either way, there's a better shot for rain tonight as well as tomorrow. We're going to track that. We'll break down the hour-by-hour forecast, and beyond that, how much rain we're expecting in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. New this morning, Jimmy Kimmel nearly...
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody. On this Wednesday morning, we begin today with a look at some area roadways where it's not entirely foggy, but other spots, some pretty dense fog. We take a look at Boonville right there where the fog has developed. Same thing in Bridgewater as well. A bit difficult from the intersection here in Herkimer. I'm going to keep looking at some other traffic cameras over the next 5 to 10 minutes to see how that fog is developing, as well as on our Mesonet camera network. But either way, parts of Utica, other spots, foggy morning. The radar is mostly quiet. We have a few showers near the Catskills. That's heading toward the Albany area right now, so this is not heading in our direction. But either way, we're going to be cutting it close for rain chances today. Still green across the board for the most part. Some slowing taking place along Route 20 outside of West Winfield in northern Otsego County, potentially due to some fog up there. But either way, this morning, dense fog this afternoon. We're going to see that fog lift. Still generally overcast, a passing shower. It's going to be a damp day today. By tonight, we're going to see some rain chances move in, and especially by tomorrow, we're going to time it out hour by hour, talk about how much we could see rainfall-wise in that full forecast in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Many are hoping for perfect weather.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Fog has rolled in a little bit more into parts of Utica early this morning. We take a live look at downtown Utica. A bit of a foggy start out there early today, and a heads up, this is a pretty dense fog in some locations. So just a reminder to budget a few extra minutes heading out to work this morning to account for that fog coming in to parts of the area. I'm just looking right now behind the scenes, some other spots. The hills of I-90 heading into Herkimer County toward Little Falls, also looking foggy right now too. So this is a pretty dense fog we're dealing with, and the reason for it is right here. 61 the temperature, 60 the dew point. The air is very saturated early today, so as that temperature falls close to the dew point near the surface, that allows that water to condense and form fog. Radar right now is dry for the most part. Maybe an isolated sprinkle if that, but for now today, expect a mostly dry day. Well, I should say more on the damp side, but don't expect a whole lot of considerable rainfall today. There's a chance of a stray shower, especially south and east of Utica this evening. Better shot for rainfall is going to be tonight. Scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder possible as a warm front moves into the area. Following that, we're going to see rainfall arrive from a trailing cold front heading into Thursday evening. And that'll be our best shot for rain over the next few days. A quick update, though, on our fall foliage report. Especially just north of Utica, there are some pretty tremendous colors already starting to form, and it is definitely earlier than usual. There's no doubt about it. But throughout the morning, I'm going to fine-tune this map here and take in more reports. This is my initial map so far of the fall foliage. I'm thinking of putting a near peak area up in the Adirondacks, either not only today, but maybe in a couple of days, as it's getting very close in some of those higher elevations. But back to the forecast today. We begin with clouds, damp conditions, a stray shower you can see here firing up in the daytime hours today. But again, the best shot for rainfall is going to be tonight. Scattered showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two. But either way, tomorrow morning, mostly quiet. Tomorrow afternoon, rain showers develop again. Maybe a few thunderstorms firing up, and these could produce downpours. And that's what we're going to be closely monitoring, because yes, we got some rain in parts of our area yesterday, but we don't want heavy downpours. We want to have this rain be a little more uniform. We get downpours, all we get is runoff. This is not going to soak into the soil like we want it to. So Hopefully this rainfall will be a lot less of the 2.75 inches here and more of a ½ an inch to 1.5 inches we could be seeing in other parts of the area. Again, that map I just showed you, just a model output, not an official forecast. We'll watch how this rain develops, especially as we head into tomorrow. Either way, Friday and Saturday, we begin to dry up. Not entirely dry Friday, but by the weekend, sunshine moves in, temperatures in the 70s. Well, we're looking pretty nice for any weekend events for our first weekend of fall.
Yeah, a lot of folks smiling about that.
Yes, a lot of events.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libitor. If you are heading out this morning, get ready for some fog. And Eric, it is dense in some parts of the Mohawk Valley.
Yeah, that's right. Even behind you right now, you have some of that fog taking place. In fact, right behind me, you can see that fog developing. And right now, we still are tracking some foggy conditions to start your day today. Here's a live look in downtown Utica. This is extending for a lot of locations. It's not widespread. Not every corner of central New York seeing this today, but it is pretty significant in other locations. So with some dense fog in place here, just budget a few extra minutes before we head out to work today. You can see here, fog in Syracuse, Hamilton, Ithaca, mostly cloudy skies in Johnstown. Visibility, again, near 0 mile or 1 mile visibility. The no fog sensors, unfortunately, in parts of this area here in central New York. So, but either way, there is fog developing in parts of that thruway corridor to the east. Today, aside from the fog, it's going to be a damp and cloudy afternoon, maybe a stray shower. There's a better shot for rainfall as we head into tonight and tomorrow. We're going to track those rain chances hour by hour. We're going to have the latest on that rainfall total, too, coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Almost a week after he was suspended, Jim...
News Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli. This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody, on this Wednesday morning. Our photo of the day today takes us into the Adirondacks, and we take a look at what takes place here at White Lake here of a beautiful scene of some fall foliage taken by Karen. Just look at that vibrant foliage right there along the shores. And this photo originally was submitted vertically. In fact, if you were to take this photo and flip it 90 degrees, it would look as if there's an entire tree there with how calm those waters are. So, amazing photo sent in of that mirror image on White Lake, again by Karen. If you have a photo like this you'd like to share with us, you can send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics for your chance to be photo featured right here on News Channel 2 at sunrise. And again, we have a pretty quiet morning so far. Some foggy conditions. By this afternoon, we're going to see some cloudy skies, maybe a stray shower. We'll have the details on that coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Just 24 hours after the start of
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Fog's moved into parts of our area early today. In fact, some of it a bit dense. We take a look at downtown Utica. It's a foggy morning out there. And we'll continue to see the fog over the next few hours, all driven by a similar temperature and dew point. 59 the temperature at Griffiths and Rome, 58 that dew point. Still technically muggy out there. And look at the radar, and for the most part, things are quiet. Maybe a stray shower possible throughout the day today. But besides that, expect a relatively quiet morning and early afternoon. So it's damp, it's cloudy today. As we head into this evening and tonight, we're going to see this warm front move in. That's going to produce some rainfall, potentially a few rumbles of thunder. Following that, we're going to see conditions produce rain showers by Friday afternoon, or should say, excuse me, Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening before things begin to clear out and a ridge sets in place as we head into late Friday and eventually on Saturday. In the meantime, though, when it comes to our foliage, there are some changing colors taking place in the Adirondacks, at least I believe in the next couple of days. If not, maybe today, I'm going to do some research and see if other locations in the higher elevations could be in the near peak category. A lot of changing colors, especially just north of Utica. It's headed in those hills. You probably can see for yourself, too, just how much has changed. Back to our forecast, we've got some patchy drizzle today mixed in with cloudy skies, a stray shower tonight, scattered showers, maybe a few downpours, and temperatures remaining on the warmer side in the 60s. By tomorrow afternoon, we're going to see rainfall move in. It's going to be pretty much on and off, but by the mid to late afternoon, maybe a few downpours and thunderstorms firing up. And this will be on the leading edge of a cold front, which passes through in the late evening and overnight Friday before things dry up a little bit. Maybe some lingering drizzle early Friday, but by the afternoon, the sun does shine and the temperatures climb into the mid-70s. Regarding rainfall totals, as you can see here, we are tracking some spots picking up maybe 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. Some isolated downpours could produce some higher totals. Let's hope that doesn't happen, because with the soil so dry, all you're going to get mainly with that is runoff. So let's hope for maybe 3/4 of an inch, 1.5 inches of total rainfall by the end of this. And then as we head into Friday, again, things will progressively dry out after some morning showers, turning to sunshine by Saturday and Sunday, highs in the mid-70s. Overall, pretty pleasant weekend for our first weekend of fall. And that drier stretch of weather will linger into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So not too bad of a weekend, Gary.
Yeah, it's just drying out just in time for all those big events, Friday,
Yes.
Saturday, Sunday. Can't ask for better than that. Eric, thanks. The time right now, Eric Gage joining us now. And Eric, kind of a damp day out there.
Yeah, not too rainy, but not really sunny either. We're in that little middle ground where it's just a damp and cloudy day. I haven't seen too many of that here in September, but here's the case. A live look at Oneonta. It's pretty nice colors right there on the hill next to Hartwick College there. We'll have more on the fall foliage, the latest fall foliage report coming up in the next half hour. Did some serious digging in our official fall foliage report. Still, though, downtown Utica, overcast skies, temperatures this afternoon in the low 70s, upper 60s. Just a cool, damp day today. Well, maybe low 70s isn't technically that cool, but either way, as we head into tonight, those rain chances increase. And as we're looking at the newest information, the new data coming in, we're going to be cutting it close in terms of whether we're going to see any notable rainfall or basically none at all. And I'll explain why coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Jimmy Kimmel nearly breaking down.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Plenty of sunshine. Not the story today. We're talking about that pretty much every single day last week. Now today, it's the opposite. Plenty of cloudy skies across the area. A live look in Cooperstown. A little busy down there. Temperatures sitting at 66 degrees, and it's a generally damp afternoon. You might run into a stray sprinkle or shower mixed in with cloudy skies. Again, it's rather damp. Dew point still very high. The bigger picture shows us we have this front somewhat stationary over us right now, which is providing us with that. Basically, we have the unsettled conditions over the northeast. As we head into tonight, we're going to see this wave of low pressure produce rain showers. And then as we head into tomorrow, late in the morning, early afternoon, this low begins to push its way east. And with the data coming in right now, it's really cutting it close whether we get this surge of moisture right here. If it hits us directly, we're going to get a good amount of rain. But if it passes to our east, maybe some rainfall, nothing, maybe about 1 inch or even 2-inch difference in rainfall, depending on how far that surges north or surges east. And we'll, of course, see it right here on the Skycast. So we have that rainfall moving in today. It's hit or miss right now. As we head into this evening, things are going to be turning a little more unsettled, especially by tomorrow morning. You can see that rainfall beginning to move in right here. Then by tomorrow, late morning, it does dry up a little bit. Now, this surge of moisture right here, this begins to move its way in Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening and into the late evening and overnight with the passage of that cold front. Lingering drizzle on Friday morning, turning to sunshine slowly by Friday afternoon. Now I want to focus on this rainfall map here. And as you can see, there is a chance that this rainfall band begins to directly hit us as we head into Friday afternoon, but some of it points to it missing us entirely. As you can see here, some of this passing to the east. So we're just on the fringe of this rainfall, and we're going to continue to track this and see how it pans out, especially throughout the morning, at least in the late evening and tomorrow morning, where we start to really get a bigger picture of how this begins to shape up. So your 7-day forecast. We've got some rain showers again, light rain mixing in with clouds today. Those showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder move in tomorrow. But again, when it comes to rainfall totals, we're just on the edge of that surge of moisture from the south. I'll have a more detailed map of where that moisture is going coming up our next half hour. But either way, as we head into the weekend, the sunshine begins to move in. Temperatures climb into the 70s. Overall, pretty nice for our first weekend of fall. Then following that, it remains pretty seasonable heading into next week. Monday and Tuesday, temperatures in the mid-70s. So we have some rain showers to deal with the next few days, Gary. More than welcome for some of us. Want that want some of that dry soil to begin to disappear, but still we got some sunshine in store for the weekend.
I know the golfers love the dry conditions because you get so much roll. So.
Oh yeah, a little bit of a loose green.
Eric, thanks. Well, many are hoping for, and Eric, boy, are we lucky compared to that.
Yeah, thankfully nothing impacting us by any means. I mean, besides some light rain.
Yeah.
We'll take light rain any day of the week. We have some updates on our foliage report. Did some research this morning. Spent a good amount of time on this map here. Took in a lot of live web cameras around the upstate New York area, Mohawk Valley, photo submissions and text submissions from all of you to try to fine-tune this forecast, or at least this report here. And so again, near peak fall colors in parts of the Adirondacks, especially the high peaks. I would probably say closer to this weekend. It could be the peak fall colors up there. Heading into the Catskills near Hunter Mountain, those locations down there where the ski slopes are, nearing peak colors. And of course, the areas to the north, midpoint to potentially near peak as early as this weekend or next week. But the colors are much more vibrant in the hills north of the Mohawk Valley than they are south. A lot of muted colors, especially as you head into the Southern Valley. So interesting phenomena taking place right now. So I increased, or at least decreased, that gradient here going from Utica heading up to the hills north of the Mohawk Valley. In fact, there are some areas seeing some colors here in Oneonta, but as you head farther to the west, colors a little bit more muted. But either way, pretty much everyone's going to see their fair share of fall colors, just dependent on timing here. Still today, it's an unsettled one, but not completely a washout. We got clouds, a passing shower, temperatures falling into the mid-60s. Now, as we head into tomorrow, we are cutting it close between either seeing maybe a passing shower or consistent heavy rain. So we have quite a difference here. I'll explain the reason for that coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The heat got to people in town.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Some locations witnessing a few rain showers this afternoon. They're light, and in some spots, not really any rain at all. But one location that is a little damp at this point is currently taking place in Cooperstown. 66 degrees and a light rain shower. Hope you guys grab your umbrellas on a busy main street in Cooperstown early today. And as you can see here on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, we're seeing that plume of moisture begin to arrive. A few isolated showers, one to mention here again, just passed through Cooperstown, heading farther south in just outside of Otsego. In fact, maybe a mile east of the downtown area, heading toward Oneonta too, a little bit to the west. Or excuse me, to the east, and then you have one rain shower heading toward Cooperstown Junction, north toward eventually Cooperstown. Either way, this is part of a much larger system. It's providing our area with that moisture we haven't seen in several weeks. And we already overcome that drought deficit, or at least in terms of the atmospheric moisture content, which is very difficult to overcome in a dry stretch of weather. So basically, in simpler terms, the air is now saturated, making it easier for future systems to produce rain in our area, like what takes place tonight. Here comes that surge of moisture, and while we see a warm front moving in, a trailing cold front arrives, but we're going to be cutting it close with the amount of rain we could be seeing as we wrap up Thursday and eventually into Friday. And what I mean by this is what takes place here in our Skycast. So again, we got a few pop-up showers here this afternoon. Tonight, we're going to see that surge of scattered showers. This is pretty much expected. I don't think of any too many changes along with this forecast here. Overnight, expect scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder with an isolated downpour. Then it dries up in the mid to late morning tomorrow. By the afternoon, here's where the uncertainty lies. We have this surge of moisture from the south. If this front accelerates, this trailing cold front out here, if it accelerates and it pushes east, this surge of moisture will actually be farther eastward, preventing us from seeing this massive amount of rainfall falling over us tomorrow. In fact, it would actually push its way almost entirely into the capital region. So when it comes to potential rainfall accumulations, you can see in this map right here, watch how this surge of moisture begins to push its way east. This is what could happen. You see some pockets of upstate New York or even central New York here between maybe a quarter of an inch to half an inch with those heavier downpours in the Hudson Valley. So it's very, very close. So we've got two scenarios tomorrow afternoon. Again, there's no uncertainty with tonight's conditions, but we'll keep you posted on how tomorrow's weather shapes up. Following that, we're going to see some sunshine return after a cloudy start Friday and a damp start Friday. And then the weekend. Well, this is looking like a pretty nice weekend. We got temperatures in the 70s, plenty of sunshine, and pretty nice for our first full weekend of fall, heading into our first full week of fall, actually second full week of fall, heading into next week. Gary?
Eric, thank you. We are back with News Talk. Our guest,
Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Much needed rain in parts of the area today.
Yeah, and I just want to echo, I think we all should be taking this seriously, whether you're in a watch or a warning, doesn't really matter, just because we've been all experiencing such low rainfall amounts. We are seeing a few light rain showers today. It's just a very small drop in the bucket compared to what we actually need. And we're behind by more than 6 inches of rain since July 1st. A few lightning strikes to the east. This is heading to the east, so this is not heading in our direction. But we could see a couple of sprinkles here heading into this evening. Another round of rain is expected tomorrow. That should help, thinking about a half an inch of rainfall throughout the course of tomorrow afternoon. It's humid outside, believe it or not, 2.64. You might have noticed that. Temperature of 70. We're tracking patchy fog tonight, the lingering showers, widespread rain Thursday. What we get Thursday is going to have to hold us over for a while because the long-range pattern goes right back to beautiful but dry, an extended period of dry weather. This evening, temperatures in the 60s and low 70s, a few scattered showers. We're tracking that next round of rainfall for tomorrow. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. In the wake of
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. It's been a generally cloudy, gloomy day, but we're getting a couple of breaks of sunshine now. This is live looking downtown Utica. Don't let your guard down, though. The weather will remain generally unsettled into this evening and tonight. And there are a couple of showers out there, and there is the chance that we could see a few more heading into this evening. The general direction is coming from the south, so some scattered showers across Shenango County, Madison County will be lifting to the north. Keep the umbrella handy still. Even though we've got sunshine, doesn't mean that's how things are going to stay. Expect changeable weather this evening, and then more of a steadier rain tomorrow. Westmoreland 70 degrees, Westernville 72, Little Falls 67. It is humid outside too, very noticeable compared to the past couple of days. Oneonta 66, Cooperstown 66, Unadilla with 72. Another area of low pressure will be arriving tomorrow, and that will bring widespread rain. The heaviest looks to be south and east of central New York, but we are going to be on the fringe of this. Again, we could definitely use it. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, cloudy skies tonight, patchy fog is expected, so be on the lookout for that. Temperatures will fall into the low 60s. Scattered showers around tomorrow. We'll start out at 8 a.m. with the chance of a shower, temperatures in the mid-60s. An overcast day with rounds of rain, the steadiest of which looks to be in the afternoon time and early evening. There could be some downpours, and even thunder and lightning can't be ruled out. I think that would be the exception rather than the rule. Temperatures climb into the low 70s. We do get a chance to dry out tomorrow night. Cloudy skies down into the 60s. A sprinkle is possible early Friday, but we should see a return to sunshine, breezy conditions, and the stage is set for some lovely weather heading into the weekend and beyond. Rainfall totals tomorrow look to average about a ½ an inch. I think some of our numbers here are on the higher side. ½ an inch to an inch, especially south and east of Utica. The tropics are getting very busy. We have multiple things to watch. One thing we don't have to worry about is Gabrielle. That's heading out to sea. But newly formed tropical storm Umberto is going to be moving to the north and west. We also have another system to watch. It hasn't formed yet, but that could potentially be something to watch here. Again, with Umberto, this becomes a hurricane. It stays out to sea for the next 5 days, but as you can see, that track brings it towards the east coast. Our long-range models are turning this out to sea, but it is too far away to know for sure. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And again, that other system investment, 92 to watch. Scattered showers tonight, low of 62. Tomorrow, looking at a steadier rain in the afternoon, 70. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast, mostly cloudy Friday, 73. The weather looks nice going forward. Lots of sunshine. Temperatures will be really warm for this time of the year. Heading into the last week of September, we're still close to 80 degrees Sunday and Monday. I would still say you can take out the air conditioner even though it gets that warm, because you got to remember, this time of the year, it's only warm for a couple of hours and it cools off very quickly in the evening.
Yeah, you're a day or two away here from things changing, but that's about 10 degrees higher than normal at this time.
Yeah, 10 degrees above average, which is a lot. Yeah.
We'll enjoy it while we can. All right, thank you, Bill. Typhoon.
The weather's cloudy. We're not going to be able to see this, but just a reminder, we have a comet that is expected to be visible in the night sky as we head into the month of October. Comet Swan is newly discovered in the western sky after sunset. With a pair of binoculars, you should be able to see it. It's expected to become brighter over the next couple of weeks, peaking out on October 12th. So we'll continue to remind you of this as we get closer. Live look at the Yorkville Battery, Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. A couple of scattered showers out there. It's been a gloomy day, clouds, a sprinkler or two here and there. Even a few rumbles of thunder to the east. The weather stays unsettled as we head into tonight. One thing is unusual is how warm it is, considering all the clouds and rain. We still made it into the 70s today. We'll do it again tomorrow. Temperatures are going to warm up. In fact, we'll be close to 80 by Sunday and Monday. And we've got some dry weather ahead. Before that arrives, though, our next round of rain will be arriving tomorrow. This evening, a few sprinkles, patchy fog, temperatures in the 60s. If you are taking the dog out for a walk, not too bad of a night to get out, but again, keep the umbrella handy. Tonight's featured dog is Hap from New York Mills. If you want to be part of this, head to Facebook, search for Skycast WKTV. That's where you can go to submit dog photos. This is brought to you by Nissan. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. And speaking of the chief,
WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Generally gloomy day across central New York as expected. We'll see another day like this tomorrow, but with more rainfall compared to today. It's a live look in Cooperstown, 66 degrees. Overcast skies. A few sprinkles are showing up on the Yorkville Battery. Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. You can see the heavier rain towards Albany and eastern New York. This is all moving in from the south, so this heavy rain will miss us, but we will see a few scattered showers heading into the course of this evening. Widespread rain looks to return tonight. Did you notice the humidity? It's out there. It's not like a mid-August day, but it does feel a bit muggy out there. the humidity levels will be dropping as we head into the weekend and beyond, as a lot of this humidity is being generated by the rainfall. Skywatchers, Whitesboro 71, Barneveld 66, West Leiden 68, Old Forge 66, Gray 66, Jeff and Mohawk 67, Westford Dave checking in with 64 degrees and a gloomy afternoon. Low pressure is going to move in tonight, and it will bring widespread rain. We're under this trough in the jet stream, which means clouds and showers. Eventually, all of this moves to the east, and we will see a return to high pressure, which means lots of sunshine heading into the weekend. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, cloudy skies tonight, patchy fog, brief shower, overnight lows drop down into the low 60s. A steady rain is expected tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. There could be a rumble of thunder, but I think that would be the exception rather than the rule. Temperatures climb into the low 70s. Tomorrow night, this weather system heads east. We're still looking at clouds and maybe a sprinkle Friday morning, but the weather looks to dry out. We should see a little bit of sunshine before the day is done. High temperatures Friday climb into the low 70s. Projected rainfall, some of our computer models are showing widespread rain, but I want to focus in on this particular take because I think this one's probably the most accurate going forward, with the heaviest rain generally falling from Utica and points east. We have the potential of seeing more than an inch of rain tomorrow, but I think it's going to be limited to areas south and east of Utica. Tropics are looking very busy. We've got 3 systems in play. One of them hasn't formed yet. This is what's called Investment 94L. It's just a fancy way of saying this isn't a tropical storm yet, but we're going to call it something. Newly formed Umberto is to be watched here as it heads to the north and west. This does become a hurricane. The 5-day forecast keeps it offshore, but again, it's just the 5-day forecast. So we'll have to see where this thing ends up going beyond that. Showers tonight, low of 62. Tomorrow, rain, temperatures near 70. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather looks to dry out heading into the weekend, a return to sunshine and beautiful weather. Warm too. Temperatures in the mid-70s Saturday, close to 80 Sunday and Monday. Lots of sunshine early next week with highs in the 70s Tuesday and upper 60s on Wednesday. We'll be right back.
That's what Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Good idea for all of us to heed a warning.
Yeah, I think so. Watch or warning. We should be taking this pretty seriously. We're down 6 inches of rain here in central New York, and it's definitely starting. It's been showing here for quite a while. We are getting some much-needed rainfall, but this is a drop in the bucket compared to what we actually need. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. A few light showers out there this evening. Patchy fog is expected. Temperatures in the low 70s. It's been pretty warm. It's also been humid, which is something we haven't seen much of lately. Dew point 64. Next round of rain arrives tomorrow. Looks widespread in the afternoon and evening. That is going to bring, again, a beneficial rainfall to central New York. And this is our one shot for this because beyond tomorrow, looks like we're getting back into a very dry weather pattern, which will mean some very nice weather, though, especially as we get into the weekend and beyond. Showers this evening, temperatures in the upper 60s, and tracking rainfall for tomorrow. We'll look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Highway crew.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Getting a glimpse of sunshine briefly this evening before the clouds return. Live looking downtown Utica. We are tracking a few sprinkles out there this evening. They're few and far between. The steadiest, heaviest rain is now moving into eastern New York. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Most of this activity is coming from the south, so a brief sprinkle can't be ruled out this evening, but again, it shouldn't be enough to slow you down. If you are heading out, expect generally cloudy weather and, again, an occasional glimpse of sunshine. The leaves continue to change. You've got the best colors in the Adirondacks. In fact, near peak color is expected over the weekend in the Adirondacks and the higher elevations of the Catskills. Should be a beautiful weekend to get out and enjoy that, too, with sunny weather expected. Skywatchers, Whitesboro 71, Barneveld 66, Gray 66, Jeff and Mohawk 67, Paynes Hollow 65, Westford Dave with 64. The weather remaining unsettled today. We've been in between weather systems, between areas of low pressure. We've been seeing a few sprinkles out there today. The next round of rain, at least widespread consolidated rain, will be moving in tonight and tomorrow as low pressure swings in. Tonight, scattered showers develop after midnight. Overnight lows drop down into the low 60s. Tomorrow, it's a cloudy, unsettled start to the day with a few sprinkles at 8 o'clock in the morning, temperatures in the 60s. The steadiest rain looks to arrive in the afternoon to early evening. At times, the rain could come down heavy, especially east of Utica. There also could be a rumble of thunder. Temperatures will climb into the low 70s. This weather system moves to the east tomorrow night. A few lingering clouds and sprinkles early Friday, but we should see a return to sunshine. Second half of Friday looks nice. The stage is set for lovely weather for high school football. A little bit breezy in the evening. Rainfall totals tomorrow. We're thinking the heaviest rain is going to be east of Utica. And yes, I did say heavy because it could be over an inch, especially in Otsego County. From Utica and points west, there's going to be a sharp cutoff here. Widespread rain for all of us, but again, the heaviest rain looks to be east. We sure could use it. It's been extremely dry for the past several weeks. Tropics are very active. We've got 3 systems in play. The ones that we're watching in particular, newly formed Tropical Storm Umberto. At this point, it looks like it's going to stay off the coast, at least for the next 5 days, but it does become a hurricane as we head into the weekend. Tonight, showers 62. Tomorrow, a steady rain in the afternoon and evening, 70. Storm Tracker 2's 7-day forecast will dry out Friday afternoon with sunshine, 73. The stage is set for a lovely weekend here in central New York, above average. Usually we're in the 60s in late September. We'll be close to 80 on Sunday and Monday. Lots of sunshine continues into early next week. We'll be right back.
Bring in Chief Meteorologist Bill Kardis. Before we go any further, congratulations on the New York State Broadcasting Award.
Thank you very much.
Social media presence, that's outstanding.
Yeah.
You do so much on your Facebook page, and you put a lot of work into it, so we appreciate that.
Well, I thank you very much, and yeah, it's nice to be honored and recognized for that. Speaking of Facebook and social media, this came across my feed. This was from yesterday. I want to just point that out. But this is another angle of that storm. So we showed a video of a funnel cloud. This one is in higher detail, and it's pretty wild. This is in Remsen, Julie Beardman. It never touched the ground, but when you're watching this video, you can clearly see rotation, and
it's spinning.
Boy, it got pretty close. Again, just another angle from that here tonight. Now, our next round of weather is going to be a lot more tranquil. We're tracking some rain showers here heading into tonight. Here's a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. In fact, the leading edge of rain is just starting to work into the southern valleys, and we'll see a few showers here tonight, and a round of widespread rain is expected tomorrow. Temperature-wise, 67 degrees, cloudy skies at Griffiths and Rome. It's pretty mild out there, and it will stay mild over the next few days. Warm weather ahead. Temperatures will be close to 80 degrees as we head into Sunday and Monday. Tonight, overnight lows drop into the low 60s. Pretty comfortable night. We're tracking rain. I'll let you know how much we can expect across the region and how much of a dent this will put in our droughts. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Highway.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Kardis.
Good evening. Pretty quiet night tonight, but we are seeing some fog in some spots. Take a look at this in Oneonta. Fog will be thick through tomorrow morning, a temperature of 63 degrees. We're also tracking widespread rain approaching from the south. The leading edge of this has made it into Otsego, Madison, Chenango counties, and it will continue to lift to the north. So we will see a round of widespread rain here late this evening and into early tonight. More rain on the way as we head into Thursday. It's going to feel more humid, too. The humidity is up. And it will stay up tomorrow, but then it drops heading into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We don't deal with humidity very often in late September, but it does occasionally show up. The leaves are turning, colors are widespread, and are ahead of schedule, at least compared to last year. We're looking at near peak color in the high peaks of the Adirondacks, as well as Catskills. Plenty of color in the higher elevations north and south of the Mohawk Valley. Again, still a few more weeks out for peak color in the lower spots, but it is changing in a hurry, as it always does. So you look at the bigger picture, low pressure is going to drive our weather tonight and tomorrow. again, bringing widespread rain to central New York. This is our shot to get rain because once we head past tomorrow and into the weekend, the weather goes back to looking very quiet and we get into a very dry pattern. Tonight, widespread showers, overnight lows. They drop into the low 60s. We start out tomorrow morning with cloudy skies, patchy fog, and drizzle. The next round of rain arrives in the afternoon. There could be some rumbles of thunder with this. I think that's the exception rather than the rule, though. Temperatures will be in the low 70s. Heaviest rain looks to be from Utica and points east. Things dry out tomorrow night. Clouds linger into Friday. A few sprinkles early. Then we should see some sunshine. Temperatures climb into the low 70s. Heaviest rain looks to fall from Utica and points east. Could be talking about more than an inch of accumulation across the southern valleys, again out towards Albany. So definitely a step in the right direction. A very active tropical moment here. We've got two systems to watch. Newly formed tropical storm Umberto and a newly developed storm to keep an eye on as well. Umberto stays out to sea for the short term, but it does turn into a hurricane heading into the weekend. Showers tonight, low of 62. Showers, more of a steadier rain tomorrow afternoon, high of 70. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather looks nice over the weekend. Sunshine, look at that. We warm up 79 on Sunday, 79 Monday. Sunshine continues into early next week. We'll be right back.
Traffic alert to share with you tonight. Starting early with the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. This social media post just tonight, we're still getting pictures of this funnel cloud from the other day.
Yeah, this happened yesterday, but I got this on my Julie Beardman messaged me today. This was taken at Remsen. A better
you can see
capture
it
of this
rotating
compared to yesterday. Yeah, there's some rotation with this storm for sure. And again, we thank our viewers for keeping us posted, even if it's a day later. That video is still very striking. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We're tracking widespread rain that's going to return tonight. It's knocking on our doorstep across the Mohawk Valley. We're expecting widespread rain to continue into tomorrow. We definitely need it. It's been exceptionally dry over the past several weeks. Current temperature 67 degrees, cloudy skies. We're going to stay on the warm side. It's going to feel humid tomorrow too. Temperatures will be near 70. And then we make a run into the 70s, close to 80. Looking ahead to Sunday and Monday. Tonight, overnight lows near 60. I'm taking a look at how this rain affects the bus stop as the kids are heading out to school tomorrow. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. It's raining. It's a dreary night. Temperatures are in the 60s. We even have some fog in Oneonta. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, widespread rain moving in. Boy, do we need it. We do have more on the way for tonight and into tomorrow. We'll also have some humidity on the way. Feeling pretty humid out there tomorrow with dew points into the 60s, which again, that's not super high, but it will be noticeable. The levels will be dropping as we get into Friday and beyond as drier air works in from the west. When the weather does get nice this weekend, it'll be a good time to get out and look at the leaves. We're looking at peak color in the Adirondacks and higher elevations. A little bit earlier than last year, but not that far off compared to typical. As we look at the bigger picture, low pressure moves in. And it's bringing widespread rain to our area this evening. Another round will be developing tomorrow, so it will be a pretty soggy day here in central New York. Tonight, widespread rain. Temperatures drop into the low 60s. We'll see dry weather tomorrow morning with cloudy skies, and then the next round of rain moves in during the afternoon. There could be some pockets of heavier rain along with rumbles of thunder tomorrow afternoon, especially south and west of Utica. As we head into tomorrow evening, the rain does come to an end. We'll get a chance to dry out Friday. It starts out gloomy Friday with plenty of clouds. Then we'll see a return to sunshine before the day is done. Should be a nice night for high school football. And temperatures Friday afternoon climb into the 70s. Rainfall totals about a half an inch to as much as an inch of rain, especially east of Utica. So this will help. We have a rainfall departure of over 6 inches since July. So this is a step in the right direction for sure. It's not going to bust the drought, but it does help. Tropics are looking very active. We've got newly formed tropical storm Umberto, along with another one that we're watching to its west. Umberto is expected to become a hurricane as we head into the weekend. At this point, it does stay off the eastern seaboard, but it does bear watching as we look ahead. In fact, this could potentially become a major hurricane by this time, or by the end of the weekend into the weekend. Rain tonight, low of 62. Widespread rain tomorrow, high of 70. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Friday, mostly cloudy, 73. Weekend looks really nice. We're expecting lots of sunshine, mid-70s. Saturday, close to 80 of Sunday and Monday. Dry, sunny weather continues. So the rain that we do get, we need every drop, because if as we head into the weekend and beyond, we're not going to see much at all.
And we're not going to make up 6 inches in just 3 days.
Exactly.
Because if we did, that would be a story.
And that would be a problem.
It would be.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Bill.